And today's conversation is about the challenges of uncovering dyslexia and finding help, and how it relates to the struggles of pursuing the dream of motherhood. I share my personal experience of homeschooling my daughter and the difficulties I face in teaching her to read, and how we tried various curriculums and interventions before finally getting her evaluated and diagnosed with dyslexia, and how being proactive and setting clear goals when pursuing a dream is crucial for success. Get pen and paper as we dive into three valuable tips for improving sleep, seeking support, and understanding menstrual cycles in the context of fertility. Welcome to Fertility and Wholeness Podcast. Are you tired of seeing that test be negative month after month? Will you ever stop having to take test after test? Are you scared of all the medical terminology, office visits, and misinformation you see at every turn on your infertility journey? If you answer yes to any of those, you're not alone. You are at the right place. I'm so happy you're here with us. My name is Ariana. I'm a fertility care practitioner and a wholeness coach with over a decade of experience on the field. I created this podcast because I know what it is to feel alone and lost while navigating fertility problems. And after helping hundreds of women, teaching them how to not protract their cycles, boost their fertility, and navigate their monthly emotional roller coaster and get pregnant naturally, I am on a mission to empower women to take charge of their fertility journey. In this podcast, you will find heartfelt conversations, education, tips on how to take care of and understand your fertility, emotional support, simple lifestyle changes to boost your fertility, nutrition, self-care routines, tips for handling stress and anxiety with ease. We have amazing, exciting expert interviews and guests, inspirational stories, and practical advice on preparing for pregnancy and joyful delivery. Are you ready to reclaim your health, your life, and become pregnant naturally? If so, grab your green juice and prenatal vitamins. This episode is just what the doctor ordered. At first, the struggle seemed like just another part of growing up, but soon the signs pointed to something deeper, something that we couldn't ignore. This is a story of how we uncovered dyslexia and found the help that changed everything. On April of 2019, I was picking up my daughter from a tutor session. When the tutor put me aside to share the details about the session, my daughter has been attending these sessions for about a month. The tutor is a retired teacher with over 25 years of experience in the field and donates her time to the local library. We started going to the library 3 times a week in an effort to homeschool in an environment that facilitated learning and focused work. This is my third year of homeschooling. When I started homeschooling her older sister, she was going into third grade. With her, I didn't have to do any of the initial work like teaching how to read, write, or count. I knew that teaching a kid to read, write, and count from the ground up was going to be a learning experience. However, I did not anticipate the special challenges. We picked up and purchased and used 12 different curriculums, 4 online learning programs, audiobooks, YouTube. All seemed to give some initial results, but quickly she became frustrated and simply were not working. When the tutor said something is up with her, we finished each session and she seems to get it, but the next time it's like she knows nothing. Those words were so validating to me, but at the same time, fear of unknown settled in. Since she was the first kid that I was teaching from the start, and English is not my first language, I started to think that maybe homeschooling was not the best for her, or that I was incapable of teaching her to read, write, or count. I blame myself for not doing something before. How did I miss this? I doubted my decisions to homeschool my kids. I was relieved to know, but now what? I called the teacher facilitator for the homeschoolers and she listened, suggested another program, but I pushed for getting her evaluated. Since we were at the end of the year, she warned me that the application will not get processed until the next school year. With that in mind, I began the process, contacted a private specialist to get her started in a summer intervention. She specializes in kids with dyslexia. Dyslexia is a learning disorder that involves difficulty reading due to problems identifying its speech sounds and learning how to relate to the letters and the words. Also called a reading disability. Dyslexia is a result of individual differences in areas of the brain that process language. She began services that summer. At the beginning, it was a stretch for us in many ways. My daughter has secretly given up on reading. She said, I'm going to be an artist. I don't need to know how to read. To which I responded, as an artist, you need to sign contracts, so reading will still be needed. When we see a loved one struggle over something that comes easier to others, or is even natural for them, or that is even natural, it is common to compare, ask, why me? Or look for something to blame. The whole family gets impacted, not just the member that is facing the challenge. There is really not an explanation for her dyslexia and nobody to blame. It became my goal to find all useful resources for her to make learning easier. But the dream was for her to read. At that time, it seemed impossible. There were tears, frustration, lots of patience with the process, and she finally got evaluated where she got to meet, where she also met other markers for ADD. She has been given accommodations to help her thrive. We meet with the team about her progress every year. Three specialists that support her learning. Each goal in her learning process has been achieved. Countless tutoring sessions, interventions, and accommodations. She's reading at a great level. She loves reading, carries a book with her all the time. I don't think a parent would ever say, my dream is for my kid to read one day. Seems so expected, yet for her it's a huge achievement. She inspires me. I always think, if she can learn how to read, then I can learn how to do something that seems impossible. Her learning disability has not stopped her, does not define her. Reading has given her the confidence to read in public presentations, recite poems, and most important, to not give up. You might be thinking, what is this has to do with fertility, Ariana? The story I just shared with you illustrates the common challenges that we encounter when pursuing a dream. It seems so strange to dream about something that is so ingrained in our nature. Feels like we're being deprived of our own human natural abilities. We did not choose it, it is unfair, and we ask, why me? We cannot stay stuck. My invitation is to be proactive regardless of the outcome. When a woman describes her dream to become a mother, usually the next sentence follows. Ever since I was a kid, I dreamed of becoming a mom. I remember playing with dolls and fantasizing about my future children. For some of you, this is a newfound desire. For others, it was a plan all along, but not a priority, as there were some things that needed to happen prior, like the career, the travel, the wedding, the house, the savings. And now they declare, I'm ready. Whichever is the case, a woman's dream to have a baby is a deep yearning to nurture life, create a family, and experience the profound bond of motherhood. It is almost expected to happen fast, at first couple tries, and without so much effort. If you are here, it has become a central part of your life. We dream of the possibilities, the name, the first steps, the first word, the cuddling. When it's not happening as easily as we anticipated, we start to looking for answers or quick fixes. We become restless. The anticipation has us in a cyclic emotional roller coaster, and the monthly delays starts to be interpreted as failures or disappointment. The impact is not limited to one area of our lives. The effects are felt in our spiritual life, relationships, self doubt, fear. The dreams at times can feel exciting and scary, not knowing how it's going to unfold or when. In the process, you might realize that the dream requires you to stretch. Your situation has unique needs, and no journey is the same. A common belief that I hear when it comes to fertility is that all life present issues will be resolved if you just get a positive pregnancy test. When it is true their ability to get pregnant is a significant milestone, what happens after conception is as crucial for a healthy pregnancy. To pursue the baby dream, it will require clarity. Set a clear vision. Set practical steps that turn that vision into reality. Without clear goals, the dream can feel so out of reach, so be intentional. What is the one thing that you can do today? Start small. I invite you to look at your sleep. Sleep plays a key role in regulating hormones that are essential to reproductive health, such as estrogen, progesterone, LH. Disrupted sleep can interfere with these hormone levels, potentially affecting ovulation and menstrual cycles. When I interview women in my practice, the amount of women that describe poor sleep habits, like a bedtime routine, and the use of technology in bed is shocking. Good sleep supports overall health, which is essential for conception and maintaining a pregnancy. Sometimes we overcomplicate the process. My invitation is simplicity. Take the first step and set up a bedtime routine. Tip number 2, support. While we know that we're made for community, infertility challenges can drive us apart. You might start dreading family gatherings, comparison creeps in, jealousy, envy, society and family pressures adds to it. The well-intentioned comments cut deep. Isolation will emerge as a coping mechanism. It is okay to set boundaries in conversations and social situations that may be triggering. Protecting your emotional well-being sometimes means politely excusing yourself from certain discussions or gatherings. Openly communicate with your spouse. This helps to reduce emotional burden you might feel and fosters a stronger connection. Number 3, learn about your menstrual cycles. Yours is very unique. I call this the cycle sense. Start by paying attention to the length of your cycle. This refers to how often you get a period. Also, note the length of your period. How many days do you bleed, including spotting? Do you have bleeding episodes? Do you experience any pelvic pain? How many days before your period begins do you have any PMS symptoms? Symptoms can range from bloatiness, cravings, headaches, depression, insomnia, fatigue, acne breakouts. Another thing to consider is how severe are the symptoms. If you have testing done in the past or have worked with a physician, what type of testing have they done? When women come to my intro session, they share the following. I have my pap smears and the results were okay. Pap smear is a test to check for cervical cancer, but it's not to determine hormonal or reproductive health. In the story I shared earlier in the episode, you can recall that the same principles apply when pursuing a dream. My dream for my daughter to read and your dream for a baby use the same principles. In step 1, I covered the need for rest for health. In her case, we had to develop a daily routine to facilitate her learning, build fun breaks when covering a lesson to make it sustainable. In step 2, the support that she had received from her family, tutor, specialist has been crucial, as well as to set proper expectations for her learning. This is your team. The question is, who is on your team? Step 3, awareness. The first months of evaluation, there was a lot of observing. I was interviewed several times by therapists and educators conducting the evaluation. Some of the questions seems to be so random, yet so crucial for her proper assessment. I encourage you in step 3 to be curious and get more awareness about your body and what is your body saying. You might be comparing the dreams. And no, I don't pretend to make them equal, but to show you that the principles are important. Friends, make time to work on your dream, one step at a time. Build a nighttime routine that honors your rest and fills your morning with hope. Lean on the people that love you, and be curious about your cycle. Pay attention to the details you didn't think that were relevant. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, we got a special treat for you. Join our free Facebook group where you can connect with other amazing women and share your thoughts. Join us by clicking in the link in the show notes. We can't wait to welcome you into our supportive community. And don't forget to come back for our next episode, where we'll be sharing even more inspiring stories, encouraging tips, educational insights, and practical strategies. Oh, and before you go, we have a tiny favor to ask. If you found today's episode uplifting and helpful, please leave us a review. It's like giving us a virtual hug, and it helps other amazing women like you find our show. Plus, it makes us smile from ear to ear. And hey, why stop there? Share the love. Tell your Betsy's, your mom, your sister, and even your favorite barista about our podcast. The more, the merrier.